A few weeks ago, I packed my bag and went on a trip to Asia for some epic days of street photography. The island of Phuket is usually not a place you'd consider a great spot for street photography, but you'll be surprised. In today's video, I want to share with you a full day of shooting street photography in Phuket, Thailand, with this guy here, the Ricoh GR4. The reason I went specifically to Phuket was to attend the 9 Emperor Gods Festival, which stretches over 9 days, and it's usually in October. And this year it was an emotional roller coaster ride, to say the least. I'll walk you through what happened, share a lot of photos with you, and explain why I took them the way I did, so you'll be entertained and maybe you'll also learn something along the way. I'm typically not a morning person, but for these events you have to be an early bird because they start around sunrise, which is about 6 in the morning. Here I wanted to capture this fleeting moment between a woman and her son, and I always try to include different layers into my photos whenever it's possible. At the shrines you typically see these so-called masongs, and they are the ones with those white piercings, and mostly they have it through their cheeks. But more on what a masong is a little bit later on in this video. Here I spotted a female masong getting her makeup done, so I positioned the camera in a way that allowed me to see the lipstick getting applied, and the flash really helps to make it stand out here. At the shrines, you'll see a lot of masongs putting themselves into a trance state before entering the shrine to connect with the gods. That procedure is very fascinating, to be honest, and it's unlike anything I've ever seen anywhere else. You will notice that a lot of these photos, they have motion blur, which is intentional because I want to make the photos look a little bit more dynamic. What actually is a masong? A masong is a devotee at the Phuket Vegetarian Festival who invites a god spirit to possess their body. Under trance, they become a vehicle and may perform ritual piercings, self-mutilation, or other extreme acts as an offering of devotion. Just next to the shrine there was a family watching everything unfold. And they were super friendly, and I talked to them for a while. Unfortunately, I don't have any video footage of that. So I tried to take some photos of them and with their cute dog, but it was very difficult to get good photos because they were posing the whole time for me. So the only photos that I got where they were not looking at the camera is this one. I'm quite happy with this photo. The only thing I wish is that the dog wasn't cut off. After the masongs get their piercings, they typically go on a parade through Phuket Old Town, which lasts for a few hours. In this case, the shrine was a little bit further away, so what happened was the masongs, they had some pickups lined up, a few, I think a few dozens actually. So they were hopping on the back of those pickups and they brought them to the starting point. And luckily, one of the friendly locals carrying these masongs that you can see here, he gave us a lift, and I don't know, but these masongs, maybe they were expecting some rain, not sure about that. A lot of photographers, they mainly focus on these crazy piercings that you can see throughout the festival. But for me, I wanted to focus more on the little stories that are happening surrounding the whole festival, so on the outskirts of the festival, so to speak. Also, some of the viewers might be a little bit more sensitive to the more extreme things you can see during this festival, so I will not include those kind of photos in this video. I still have them, and if you wanna check them out, I will put a link below this video. Hop over to my website after this video and you can see some of the more extreme piercings. It's not too bad, but yeah, just check it out if you're curious. People were already lining up and waiting for the parade. You also see a lot of pickups that serve as a stage for drum kits that are used during the parade. It was still calm and peaceful and a great time to make new friends.
Hello.
When the parade finally kicks off, you will see a lot of people witnessing the whole thing on the side of the street. And some of them even have built up a little shrine in front of their house on maybe a small table or something like that. The Masongs, they come up to the people, they bless them and they are helping them getting rid of all the evil spirits. It's so beautiful to see how deeply rooted this whole tradition is in the local culture. Even without photographing, it's just amazing just to witness the whole thing going down. Here you can see the Masong interacting with the people, and I intentionally brought the camera very close to make the viewer feel like they're right there. Here you can see a Masong with a rather tame piercing, and I was holding the camera up high to show how long the parade is, though it was actually much longer than what you can see here in the photo. Here another Masong is blessing the bystanders, and you can see some of the Masong's helpers. They usually have a whole crew with them, and especially the Masongs with the bigger piercings, they need some support, and that's why they usually have a crew. Another big part of the parade are the firecrackers thrown at the Masongs and the men and teenagers carrying palanquins. The firecrackers are meant to chase away evil spirits, and the more and louder, the better. In fact, it gets so loud that I wouldn't recommend getting close without any ear protection or preferably also some protecting goggles. Funny enough, within the crowd I spotted this police officer taking pictures on his camera, which was really funny. So I saw him almost every day on all these parades that we went, and yeah, that was actually really cool to witness. At this point, I called it a day for the parade because we had some more activities planned for that day in the afternoon and the evening. A few days ago, I updated my video course on how to use flash in street photography. So if you've already signed up, check it out. There might be some more useful information now in the video course. And if you want to sign up, from now on, starting with this video until December 8th, there will be a 30% discount on the course. Check it out. The link will be in the description box down below. And also in my online shop, there will be a discount, a 50% discount already applied to my zines, and also my Lightroom presets are 30% discounted until December 8th starting today. So if you're interested, the links are in the video description, so check it out. Later on in the afternoon, we went to one of the main shrines in Phuket because another event was scheduled. However, just as the event was about to kick off, the sky opened up and it began pouring like crazy. Despite all the heavy rain, the Masongs went on a parade and we were waiting in the shrine for the weather to clear. And after an hour or so, the Masons returned and went straight into the shrine to perform the procedure to exit their state of trance. Since the rain had made everyone else leave, there were no other photographers, and that was amazing. Definitely worth the wait. Because of all the heavy rain, the drainage system couldn't handle all this water in Phuket Old Town, and some of the roads, they were still flooded later on that evening when another parade was scheduled. However, that didn't stop the people from having that parade, which was an experience in itself. At some point, because of the humidity, the filter on my Ricoh GR fogged up, which gave the images an interesting touch. To be continued.